Ravi woke up with the alarm clock blaring in his ears, signaling the start of another day. It was 6 in the morning, and the sun was just beginning to rise, casting a warm glow over the city. He had a quick cup of tea, savoring the brief moment of calm before the rush. Then, he got dressed for work, putting on his usual attire. Ravi lived in a small rented apartment with his wife and 2 children. The space was limited, but it was filled with love and laughter. It was a tight squeeze, but they made it work, organizing their belongings meticulously to maximize the space. He kissed his wife and children goodbye, a daily ritual that never lost its importance, and hurried out the door to catch his bus. The bus stop was crowded as usual, with people jostling for space and trying to get to their destinations on time. Ravi squeezed onto the bus, finding a small spot to stand for the entire journey. The ride was long and uncomfortable, but he was used to it. The city was already bustling with activity, the streets filled with people and the sounds of morning traffic. People were going to work, school, or just starting their day, each with their own story and destination. Ravi finally reached his office building, a modest structure amidst the towering skyscrapers. He worked as a clerk in a small office, handling paperwork and managing files. The work was tedious and repetitive, but he was grateful to have a job that provided for his family. He knew that many people were not so lucky, and he often thought about how fortunate he was to have steady employment. Ravi's salary was just enough to cover their basic needs. Rent, food, school fees, and medical bills took up most of his income. He worried constantly about money. What if one of his children got sick? What if his wife lost her job? He knew that he had to find a way to earn more money, but it was hard to find the time or energy after working all day. He started looking for a second job. He applied for evening and weekend positions. He was willing to do anything to provide for his family. Ravi started taking on small side gigs. He delivered packages, he did data entry work, he even tutored students online. He was exhausted all the time, but he knew he had to keep going. His family was depending on him. His wife worried about him. She could see the toll it was taking on his health, but Ravi insisted that he was fine. He didn't want to worry her. One day, Ravi's daughter came home from school with a flyer. She handed it to him with a big smile on her face, her eyes sparkling with excitement. The school was having a science fair, and all the students were encouraged to participate. It was a big event, and everyone was talking about it. Ravi's daughter was very excited. She couldn't stop talking about all the ideas she had for her project. She wanted to build a model of the solar system. She had seen a similar project online and was eager to create her own version. Ravi was proud of his daughter's enthusiasm, but he also knew that buying all the materials for her project would be expensive. He looked at the list of items she needed and felt a knot form in his stomach. He didn't know how he was going to afford it. The bills were already piling up, and there wasn't much left over at the end of the month. That night, Ravi made a difficult decision. He sat alone at the kitchen table, thinking about what he could do to make his daughter's dream come true. He took out his old gold ring. It was a family heirloom, something he had always cherished. It was his grandfather's ring, and he had been saving it for a special occasion. He remembered the stories his grandfather used to tell him about the ring. He went to the pawn shop the next day. It was a tough decision, but he knew it was the only way. He pawned the ring and got enough money to buy his daughter the materials she needed for her project. It wasn't easy, but he knew it was worth it. His daughter was overjoyed when she saw the supplies. She couldn't believe her eyes and immediately started planning her project. She hugged Ravi tightly and thanked him. Her happiness was infectious, and for a moment, all his worries melted away. Ravi felt a pang of sadness as he hugged his daughter back, but he knew that he had made the right decision. The sacrifice was worth it to see her so happy. Ravi continued to work hard, day in and day out, putting in long hours at his job. He knew that his dedication and perseverance were the keys to achieving his dreams. He dreamed of a better future for his family, one where they could live comfortably and happily. Every moment he spent working was a step closer to that dream. He wanted to save enough money to buy a house, a place they could call their own. It was a goal that kept him motivated, even on the toughest days. He wanted his children to have the opportunities that he never had. He envisioned them playing in their own backyard and excelling in their studies. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to give his children a better life. He often stayed up late, planning and strategizing for their future. He would never give up hope, no matter how challenging the journey became. His family was his anchor, and their love gave him strength. Ravi knew that life was a struggle, but he also knew that it was a beautiful struggle. Each day brought new challenges and new reasons to keep going. He was grateful for his family and for the opportunity to provide for them. Their happiness was his greatest reward, and it made all his efforts worthwhile. He was determined to make something of his life, to achieve the goals he had set for himself. Every small success was a step forward. He knew that the future was full of possibilities, and he was ready to embrace them. The dawn of each new day brought renewed hope and determination. He just had to keep working towards them, one step at a time, with unwavering faith and relentless effort. His journey was far from over, and he was ready for whatever came next.